lot of money.
Lovely to have you back for 2026.
So interesting. Thank you. Welcome to you too. Are you a popcorn person?
I am actually not a popcorn person, but I like the chips.
Tangy fruits?
Tangy fruits with a bomb.
Fruits. I
But
used to
it's
love
got to be,
those.
for me, it's just a simple, plain vanilla chop top.
Right.
And it can be 10 in the morning, it can be 10 at night.
Doesn't matter what time
Just
it's the
bring on
ice
the
cream.
chop top. Anyway,
Back to the movies. And the
Yes.
first thing we're talking about is a local film called Marama.
well, this opens next week. There's some sneaky peeks, and obviously I've had one of those sneaky peeks, and also had the absolute joy of speaking to the director of this film, Tarutoa Steppard, who's based in London, and he's an absolute split. His parents are British and Māori, but he's lived in London pretty much most of his life. So for me, it's a filmmaker that just like kind of popped up out of nowhere. It's his first big feature, and we talk about what Simon was talking to you guys about just a few minutes ago. You know, you have a dream that you want to tell a story and make a film, and in you pop. And this is a Māori Gothic horror.
Wow.
Okay, so immediately in your mind's eye, you've got a horror film. So good morning, everybody. welcome to the movies. This film was so surprisingly deep. And when we talk about horrors, they're now a genre. And if we look at the Oscars and you look at films that are doing so well, which are horrors, that genre has really changed. So I don't want to switch everybody off and say, well, I'm not going to go and see that because it's a horror.
I don't like scary movies.
I know, but if you think of Jordan Peele and Get Out, it's such an amazing genre for exploring really, really interesting themes. And some of these themes are really confronting. And they're things we should be having conversations about with Indigenous populations, particularly with Māori. So what you have is this young woman, Mary, wahine Māori, who ends up in North Yorkshire in the 1700s. And she is trying to find out where she's from and where her whānau went. And it's a phenomenal story of appropriation, and theft, and she ends up in this huge dark house with this lord of the manor who speaks to their Māori and you are part of my whānau. He was a whaler in the South Pacific. Things are not as they might appear.
That old chestnut.
That old chestnut, Wendy, and things go south. South in a relatively bloodthirsty way, but in a way that feels absolutely right.
Right.
So it's not let's go and take the 10-year-olds to the movies, but actually there is so much here to explore. I thought it was really fresh. In that sense, because you can explore those kinds of themes. And the performance from Ariana Osborne in the lead role, wow, she is absolutely one to watch. She's done a few bits here and there. She was in a TV show, Madam, but she has to, the duality, shall I say, without these spoilers, is really impressive. So let's support local.
Absolutely.
A lot of great local film coming out. 2 new trailers for Holy Days and a film called Caterpillar. So have a little Google of those two, because I think we're in for a strong year for
That's fantastic. All right, let's move on, because the last time we saw you, Oscar nominations were out.
Yes.
Let's talk about Marty Supreme.
Oh my goodness, little Timmy, eh? Little Timmy Chalamet.
Oh, yeah.
He is amazing. And after watching Marty Supreme, and I was late to the Marty party, so I only watched it last week, and it's exhausting. It is so stressful. It's a story of a kid who wants to be a world champion table tennis player. When I say a kid, it's Marty Supreme, played by Timothy Chalamet. He's a grown man. He is a singular in his vision to take table tennis to the world and to make America be the world champion of table tennis. But as you kind of get a vibe, he will literally sell his grandmother to do this. He is so unlikable. He is on the hustle. It's got, can you do something for me? If you can't, he's off. Can you do something for me? Can you do something? He never lets off. You say no. Eventually, you'll say yes, regardless of what it is.
It's a true story.
It's based on a true story. He's a hustler, and he wants to have some power. He comes from nothing and ends up with people who do have power that you will end up kind of hating. So he's a character that weirdly, you're still wanting to succeed, but he's just awful. He's just, you can't really, he He's not a
And he's up
lovable
for
guy.
best. Is he up for best actor?
And he's terrific. And after watching it, and he's up against Ethan Hawke and Leo DiCaprio for their their fantastic films. And because I feel like he's almost in every frame. And because it's so hard to play a character so loathsome that you still want to root for, that he is now my pick. I would really, really love
Okay.
him.
All right, so we've only got 1 minute and we still haven't talked about Hamlet. I know, Kate. I'm
Well, we
sorry.
don't have to talk about Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Give this lady an Oscar already. For goodness sake.
It is extraordinary. It's an exploration of grief and healing that is a cathartic experience in a cinema that could potentially actually change your life. And Jessie Buckley in the lead role. It's based on the book. It's a story of Shakespeare, maybe a fictional version, losing a child. So that's all I need to say to anybody to have a full and complete understanding of how harrowing this film can be. But within it, and stick to the end, make sure you have an hour to cry in the car park. And then, honestly, it is so healing. I'm sorry, I've got you all the time. It is one of the most beautiful and ultimately almost transcendent experiences I've had in cinema. And I promise you won't regret buying a ticket to it. Anyway, good morning.
Well, from horror movies to crying.
Yeah, I feel like this is not the right time for me to tell you that I actually fulfilled a commitment that I made to you at the Christmas show last year.
You went to a 3D film.
Well, I went to the movies. I didn't quite get the 3D part, but I did watch Zootopia too. It was really
An
good.
award winner.
It was really
Baby
good.
steps.
I
Baby
know.
steps. That's become the highest grossing animated film of all time.
There you go.
Really?
More than Inside Out. I don't get it. I loved it. And I'm so glad you went. Everybody?
I'm making progress. I'm making progress. I will get there with a 3D. Look at that. I should do that every day. Anyway, we'll get there with my progress to the cinema this year.
Delighted. So proud.
I like the way for cinema.
Yeah, it's a classy ladies. Anyway, muriing off whakaparangi, 8:30 News, Sport and Weather, plus athletes of a certain vintage are in Dunedin this week. Sam Ollies.
On to town. You just missed them.
Relax and take notes while I take totes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke, gun smoke. Biggie Smoke for mayor, the rap slayer, the hooker layer. Motherfucker, say a prayer.